today. From Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. Cincinnati Bengals taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens in Thunder to kick off for Baltimore.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader, because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
Carry now. This is Williams. Yeah, that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So if they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Now it's Burrow. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. And they have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Ashton Davis. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
The tackle made back at his 48-yard line.
Quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
on the ground. This is Williams. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
The ball carrier.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though.
Makes it 3rd and 11.
From midfield now, Burrow. He'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Cincinnati Bengals.
I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they look at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
At the 35-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's Burrow. And that's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. That took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
To go.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 22-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
By Shaquem Griffin. Brought down back.
Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
On 2nd down now. It's Williams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
We're scoreless after 1.
With no score.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football, and the Ravens have got it. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And what a sophomore season he had for the Cardinals. Pretty much swept every major quarterback award, including the Heisman Trophy. And we spent a lot of time talking about his legs. Formidable. He can run the ball like few others, but the key to everything for him is the ability to be accurate from the pocket.
They got the fumble recovery. Now here's Love to pass. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. The 30, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, 76 yards. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30.
Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. On second down, Burrow. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Montez Sweat make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow under pressure again, and down he goes again. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and on the season now that is 9 sacks for him. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big one.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up, whether it's on your grease board.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Andy Isabella with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure that you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ashton Davis able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. And the pressure gets to him again. Montez Sweat has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. In. Love, they go play action now. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Andy Isabella was the intended target. And that'll bring up second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Play action this time with Love. That ball complete to Isabella. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Andy Isabella. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
Tucker lining up for the
So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Burrow will throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Andy Isabella on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense heading back out. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Montez Sweat in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely, he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. From the gun on third down is Burrow. He's got his man, Boyd. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Burrow looking to pass.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now Burrow to throw on second down. Now Burrow loses the football. And the Ravens have got it.
Shaquem Griffin. Lamar Jackson sack.
He already had the one fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about it.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far as his guys continue to pour it on.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more.
Under pressure, they got him again. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now it's Burrow. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. From the 6. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Burrow. Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Ashton Davis able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Play fake. Here's Love. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
It's a gain.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Ravens.
And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Brings up 2nd and 4. At the
first throw for the backup Jackson. This one caught by Isabella. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
Touchdown.
An 18-yard touchdown grab. And this offense is running away with this one. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base?
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
But we saw that they had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
A loss of 5.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 50 yards. And the Ravens add on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchdown. The Bengals drive about to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now Burrow loses the football, and the Ravens have got it.
McKinley. Lamar Jackson.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them, but the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate 1 fumble, 2's, oh, my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
They'll run with Chubb, and they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Touchdown.
Nick Chubb, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. When you talk about a battle being won in the trenches, that touchdown right there, a lot of credit to the offensive linemen.
Yeah, when you watch them surge across the front, they really created great space for the runner to get in.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
And here's the Ravens defense as they head back out there now. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers. The offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know their takeaways on the defense.
Takeaways, man.
Again, it's Burrow on 2nd and 10. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tack McKinley picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now it's Burrow. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. He's at the 50, 30. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Now Burrow loses the football, and the Ravens have got it.
Montez Sweat. Lamar Jackson sack.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. A good start to the drive. That's caught out on the left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First down.
Line of scrimmage moves from 137-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. And the ball comes out. Love lost it. So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long.
Fumbled on the play.
Off the play fake, Love. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 44 yards. And the Ravens capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. Slant pass to Boyd. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 more yards for him there. It's a 1st down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win. This one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. That would complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Again, it's Burrow. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Boyd. The 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now Williams. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Drew Sample, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On 2nd down, here's Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter. And now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They got the fumble recovery. Now here's Love to pass. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And even 50 yards. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That ball complete to Isabella. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it to the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call.
Receiving team.
Hey, baby.
That holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Ashton Davis. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
7-yard line.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So the